let's have a quick overview related to what all things that you have to cover in photosynthesis, so that the concept of photosynthesis basic framework becomes clear. See, I have seen so many students, those who have no idea about that why are they even studying these cycles. They just study it for the sake of studying. I have asked them that what is the reason C2 cycle is there, or why do we have C4 cycle, or I have even asked how many type of cycles do we see in plants. So they say in a single plant there are 4 type of cycles ongoing. Why is it so? Because they do not have the main basic conceptual understanding. So have a basic conceptual understanding so that you do not make such mistakes in the examination. Okay. Okay. See over here, talking about photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis all about? Photosynthesis is nothing but the production of organic matter or the organic material in the plants with the help of photo, that is light, right? That is your light energy. So your light energy is converted into the chemical energy, and as a result the organic components are formed. That is your glucose is formed. How is it formed? With the help of combination of water and carbon dioxide along with your chlorophyll and your sunlight. Obviously we get the glucose as our resultant product, right? So what is photosynthesis? This is what it is all about. Now comes what all things you have to focus upon. The very first important thing that you have to focus upon is understand that what is photosynthesis. That is the basics part. In the basics part we learn about the definition first, then we learn about the various photosynthetic pigments that we have. You have a number of photosynthetic pigments, for example chlorophyll, for example carotenoids, xanthophylls, all these things. So each of these play a important role. Few are known as your primary pigments, and then you have your accessory pigment. Your chlorophyll is the main primary pigment, because of which you have your plant looking at, or the plant giving the appearance of a green plant, right? Where is the chlorophyll present? It is present in the chloroplast. So you have to study the structure of the chloroplast as well. So learn about what the basics is, then chlorophyll, chloroplast, structure of chloroplast, synthesis of chloroplast. Same goes with, like, main is the synthesis of the chlorophyll, degradation of chlorophyll, structure of chlorophyll, types. You have chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, many bacteriochlorophylls. We have a number of type of chlorophylls available. Then after that we learn about the red drop effect and your immersion enhancement effect. There are two important factors again. One is your red drop effect and the other one is your immersion enhancement effect. These two components, these two concepts gives us the conclusion of presence of two type of photosystems in there. That is, when we learn about, like when you study about the light reaction and the dark reaction, we see the utilization of two types of photosystems. So the red drop effect and the immersion enhancement effect gives us a conclusion. The red drop effect gives us the information related to the wavelength, that is 680 to 700 wavelength is immersion enhancement effect gives us the concluding remark of presence of two different photosystems in the entire plant for the photosynthesis to be performed. Now photosynthesis in itself is made up, or it is composed of, or it gets completed with two stages. What are the two stages in photosynthesis? You have the light reaction and you have the dark reaction. The light reaction is chemically or technically called as your Z scheme, which is also called as your non-cyclic photophosphorylation. And if the plant requires higher amount of ATP, if the plant by chance require high amount of ATP, so a process called as cyclic photophosphorylation also comes in play. After that, the products of your light reaction, that is your NADPH and your ATP, they are utilized in your dark reaction, which is called as your C3 cycle, which is also called as your Kelvin cycle. So, which occurs in 3 steps where you have carboxylation, reduction, and regeneration occurring in. We have the formation, or we have the what do you say, operation of the C3 cycle occurring in. If the plant have higher oxidative stress, now over here there's an enzyme which you need to remember first. We have an enzyme which is called as will be operating, which is nothing but a wasteful process in the plants. In addition to that, the entire concept of your C2, C3, CAM, and C4 plant operates because of the Rubisco only. CAM plants to an extent, yes, but just understand Rubisco have equal affinity, which is one of the central and the most abundant enzyme on the earth. So oxygen and carbon dioxide, equal affinity. It has same active site for the same. If oxygen is present, it will work as a oxygenase. If carbon dioxide is present, it will behave as a carboxygenase. So oxygen, it will be operating the C2 cycle. For carbon dioxide, the C3 cycle will be getting operated. Then you have, if now Rubisco and C2 cycle, which is your photo respiration, it's a wasteful process because your fixed carbon gets unfixed. The fixed carbon gets unfixed over here. So it's a wasteful process. ATP is getting wasted over here. Now, for making sure that Rubisco works, or Rubisco has a higher concentration of carbon dioxide only around it, so we have the C4 plants in which there are two adaptations. One is your dimorphic chloroplast, and then you have Kranz anatomy, in which the bundle sheath cells and your mesophyll cells are arranged in a wreath-like structure, right? In addition to that, if the plants are present in the area where there is lesser water concentration there, or lesser water availability, so there's an adaptation of scotoactive stomatas, that is those stomatas which are open during the night time, in the night time, and they remain closed during the daytime. So the process of the C3 cycle in this remains similar. The difference occurs in the bifurcation of the timings in which the stomatas are opened up, right? So in the CAM plants, we have the scotoactive stomatas being the main adaptation. In C4 plants, you have the dimorphic DNA, dimorphic chloroplast, and the Kranz anatomy. C3 plants is the basic one, and then you have the C2 plants, that is your photorespiration. Remember one more thing, every single plant, whether it's a C4 plant, whether it's a CAM plant, or whether the plant is having the C2 cycle getting operated, the final result will be the utilization of C3 cycle. In every plant, you will see the C3 cycle being operated. Why? Because of the glucose production requirement, and the glucose can be produced only with the help of your C3 cycle. All other processes, like this is an adaptation, this is also an adaptation, this is a phenomena which occurs because of the high amount of oxygen being there, right? So every specific process that's occurring in is because of some phenomena that's there in. So you should know the reason for C2 very clear cut understanding and a very clear flow map clear in your head that why am I studying a topic, what's the entire composition of the topic is.